What's up, everybody? Welcome to today's episode of The Comeback Couples, hosted by Mark and Kendra Jennison. This show is all about living life with a comeback. We're going to touch base on all things life related. Today's topic is date night. Sit back, enjoy the show, and let's roll. It only took me about 9 attempts, about 4 attempts to be able to do that. What do you think, Mom? Did I do good?
Crushed it.
Crushed. I've been struggling here lately. I think I'm just so tired. I need a coffee or a nap or I don't know. I need something. A vacation. A vacation would be good. Which is kind of just say it's kind of ironic that that's what you brought up because we're going to talk a little bit about date night. Date night's kind of like a mini vacation. And I get my chair where it needs to be. And seeing is we're on that topic tonight, and it is Tuesday. We do our date nights Tuesday. Why I wanted to bring it up is because we literally just got off of a comeback couples coaching client. Great people, love them, but they talked about not being able to take date night or he said he failed at intimacy, if you will, but at taking a date night. And if you're watching this, buddy, this isn't to throw in a bus. It's to just to use it and say the importance of what it looks like, right? Or like why we need to have it. So I think, we moved quickly from, shouldn't say we didn't move quick. Yeah, we moved pretty freaking quickly, but we moved quickly from like dating into married to building a business to buying a farm to cars to kids to like, it was just boom, 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 boom. But if I think back to like when we first started doing this, I don't think we'd be here right now if we didn't take the time out to truly connect.
Definitely. Right.
And like with the vacation, like for us, it was almost like date vacations. I mean, no offense, I'm pretty freaking awesome. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but toot. But no, like the truth is we did. Like you came into my life and then all of a sudden, I was whisking you away to the Bahamas and to, wherever, Tybee and California and just doing things because to me, I was getting you away. I was getting you away from the reality of what was back here, which was winter, which was stress because I was building a business, which was the daily life of just people who, in my opinion, I mean, for where we live, there's a bunch of negative fucks. And I wanted you out of here, right? Like I wanted you out of here. So I created date vacations, but we were able to connect even before that, like on date nights from
coffee shops
in the middle of the day to, Pier 290 the first night when you weren't wearing those super hot green soccer shorts. I got to realize this chick does have a nice butt. Like I was like, oh man, she's different. So I want to hear the reason I want to talk about date nights. I want you to talk about the importance of what it does for our relationship. I mean, I just was rambling on there, but truthfully, like what does it do for you throughout the week to know that through all the stuff going on, there's still going to be a me and you?
Yeah. From the beginning, date nights were date nights in general are super important, but I think kind of looking back, one of the reasons that you and I were able to, kind of start our life so quickly was because we dated, we took vacations together, and vacations together with somebody. I mean, you're going to get to know ins and outs of them pretty quickly through vacations, which were super fun for me anyways, by the way. I mean, you said you wanted to get me out of here, but I think you wanted to get out of here, and I was definitely not dumb enough to say no. Anyways, but
no. Hold on. Yeah, I did want to get out of here because I hate being stuck inside of the cold in the winter. This year, fortunately, it's been very, very mild. Yeah. And I'm grateful for that. But yeah, I wanted out of here, and I'm like, dude, if I get to take this chick who I like with me, I'm out of here. I'm gonna impress this one.
But getting back to it, yeah, I think one of the reasons that you and I were able to kind of move along so quickly is because we had fun together. We did things that were adventurous. We went on vacations, which get really intimate. We took little quick coffee shop dates. We did dates with the kids. So right from the beginning, you and I were both really able to kind of break it down like, okay, I like this about this person. I really like this about this person. Kind of, I use the term like checked boxes, but I was like, okay, he does this, he does this, he does this. And it was really easy for me to be like, yep, this is exactly what I've been looking for in somebody. So when you know exactly what you've been looking for in somebody, I was gonna grab onto that and we're gonna go with it because for us it was a no-brainer.
And that carried us from like dating, which
Right.
in my opinion is different than date nights,
Mm-hmm.
because
Right.
now we're married, and in our audience and the people that listen to us are obviously they're probably more, I don't know the age range of the women that are listening, but I mean,
Yeah.
typically, I'm close to 40. So a lot of the guys that listen to me are 35 to 45, 50
Yeah,
years
relatively
old.
same
So
age.
their wives are, maybe a little bit older than you, but they've been at this game a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they forgot what it's like to connect via dating, right? Because
Right.
you quit dating when you get married. Like a lot of people.
A lot of people do. Yeah. And I agree with that. And I think from, like I said, kind of from the beginning when we started, you're right, we were dating. And I think that mostly because of you, I will give you the credit for you're very consistent when you're like, okay, it's Tuesday, let's go have date night. And the importance of that has been astronomical. I mean, you and I finally getting the alone time. We don't always go out.
Right.
Sometimes we decide that our date night is literally just cooking together at home and sitting in front of the fire. But I think the most important part of going on dates for anybody is just that one-on-one time and what that does for rekindling your relationship.
So I think something, hearing you talk about that, because many guys might be hearing this, whatever, and they think they need to, I need to take her out to dinner. I need to buy her flowers. I need to do this. I need to do that. But I don't think that's what it's about at all. It's not about what you do, but it's more about the mindset and the intention that you set straight out of the gate. So like knowing that, because at first I'm like, I had that mindset, but you know what? I need to take her here. I need to take her out to eat. I need to go. Well, in reality, dude, we live in a really small town. You can only eat at the restaurant so many times before they get burnt out. Like it gets boring doing it. It gets cold for more than half the year, 8 months out of the year, 7 months out of the year. It's shit here, really. And so not a lot of outdoor stuff that you could do. But what I want the guys to understand is the intention of date night, the mindset frame that you take into it. I think we touched base on this last week. Like date night for me isn't about like, oh man, I'm going out to date night, I'm going to get lucky, right? That's not what I'm going on date night for. Date night is a disciplined action to where I get to take and set myself away from work, away from business, and give everything of me to you.
Exactly. And how absolutely important it is for us to keep that fire alive for in our date night. Sometimes Mark and I'm just like, let's go do something fun tonight. And we kind of rekindle our friendship. How important is it to have a friendship inside of your relationship where I'm like, hey, I really want to go beat you at bowling tonight, so it's
never.
Yeah, right. But it's so important. It gives the fire for the relationship in general. So yeah, it's a disciplined action for you because you are so disciplined with everything. And that's awesome. And it gives me something to look forward to. But even for the wives, she's probably like, my husband hasn't asked me out on a date in years. Well, then I encourage you to maybe go ahead and ask your husband out on a date. Say, hey, there's this, we haven't been to this restaurant in a long time, or there's this new restaurant. And maybe you kind of initiate, because it's so important and they're so fun. We always have fun. Even if we decide that we're not going to do anything, just sitting with you and laughing. And
I got some great jokes.
You have horrible dad jokes, but I laugh at them nonetheless.
That is true. So one of the things I like to do in my coaching style, and not that I'm coaching on this call, but what I like to do is break down what date night isn't, or what something isn't, right? Like, let me tell you what control of alcohol isn't. Let me tell you what a relationship win isn't, or something like that, right? So on this particular topic of this podcast, I want you to help me go back and forth and spitball on what it isn't, right? And I'll start. Date night is not going out to dinner, ordering a cocktail or two or three, looking at Instagram or Facebook the whole time and not paying attention to your wife or girlfriend.
You're right. It's absolutely not that.
What else isn't it?
It is not a shoo-in for you getting laid.
Right. Date night is not a time that you, and this is even something that I struggle with, but we work because our communication is better. Date night is not a time that I bring up everything about business. However, our life is our business because of what we do, but it's not a spot where like I need to tell you the pressure and the stress of why Facebook ads aren't converting, and this is just driving me nuts.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's not where I'm unloading my shit on you, and you're not unloading on me.
Mm-hmm.
So those are just a couple things. Now, what is date night look like to you? Like we had this conversation with Guy or with the last couple we just coached. Like it's not always about going to do something.
Exactly. And I think that's where a lot of people can kind of misinterpret, like, oh, well, we haven't had a date night. We can't get rid of our kids. And sometimes a date night is allowed to be you putting your kids to bed and you and your husband getting a bowl of ice cream from the freezer and just sitting and laughing together for an hour.
If I wasn't so like rigid and disciplined on the things that I need to do every week, and I didn't make sure I go out of my way to do the date night, how do you think you would feel? Like as far as our connection, because we got 3 kids,
Mm-hmm.
we've got a business that's thriving, and not only is the business thriving, but there's thousands of people that are trying to talk to me all the time. Like it's like you'd be competing for my time, essentially.
Yeah.
So if I didn't take the time out to give you me,
Mm-hmm.
how would that make you feel?
It would.
I'm not going to not do that. I'm just saying.
No, I know.
I want these guys to hear this.
It would make me feel lonely. It would make me feel like, okay, we're just every day we're going through the motions and this is our life. And my husband gets home from work and I can expect him to, either sit on the couch and stare at his phone all night or, not pay me any attention. It just becomes such a dreadful walking through life, and I'm so thankful that you are so disciplined with doing it, because it does, even though I know it's Tuesday and it gives me something to look forward to, which makes it fun. And in the winter, I think we're a lot more prone to just being like, you know what, let's just stay home and pick a really good movie. And that's sometimes our date night. In the summertime, I feel like we're definitely a lot more active. But
for sure, especially now with the farm, like a lot of date nights that I got planned and things that I already think about is just literally going out, me and you on Tuesday night and putting a new roof on the barn we're building for the alpacas, right? Like, I'm not going to bring my phone. I'm going to put on some old shitty clothes. I'm going to bring you out there and I'm going to work with you and we're going to laugh and we're going to
build memories. Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's so overlooked a lot of the time is people just get caught up in everyday life and you're forgetting that dates are making memories. Some of my favorite memories, and they're so silly, but just you and I, especially this winter, just with our new fireplace, and you and I literally just sitting in front of our fireplace and me trying to teach you how to play poker and just, it's there. I think some people are so quick to overlook the importance of date night, and don't do that. Don't overlook that.
And let me tell you what, guys, and this is kind of speaking directly to the guys, but part of the reason I look forward to it as well is because kind of like she said, it's not a shoo-in to get laid. It's not a time for me to just say, okay, I'm running through the motions. Like if you're listening to this podcast or you follow anything that I'm about inside of the Comeback Lifestyle or what we're about, then you understand that I want to maximize every area of my life, like across these 7 F's: faith, finances, family, fitness, future, freedom, foundation. Inside of the family, I break it into 2 parts. Like I am an extremely good dad, but I'm also an extremely great husband. But that doesn't come natural to me.
Right.
Like it didn't come natural to me. I've built this motherfucker. I built everything about me, but I built me in this relationship because I was not this guy. I never was until I met you. And I said, you know what? I have a fresh slate. I love this person. I'm going to create and do everything I need to do. And I'm going to win in this sector of my life.
Yep.
And there's non-negotiables for me. So when I look at it, like I know that giving you, we've never had this conversation, but giving you 2-3 hours or 4 or 5 hours, maybe it's an hour, whatever, who knows what happens. Giving you just me solely allows me the ability to bust my ass the other 4 or 5 days a week that I'm working around the clock. And then it does give me a piece like, you know what? I get to set off and I get to relax.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, you said something, you know, when I asked how would that make you feel, you said, I feel lonely. And I know many men who are probably good husbands, great fathers, not abusive, not even alcoholics, nothing, but they forgot to connect, they forgot to date, they forgot to pay attention to their wife. And the next thing you know, eh, she's sleeping with someone else.
Right.
Somebody else is living inside of your house. Your life is turned upside down and you've got nobody to blame but you.
Agreed.
When everything could be just shifted by making sure that you take the time out of your day to love one another.
And it is truly as simple as date night.
I think that's a great spot to end this call or this conversation. So that's it for today's episode. I was thinking about if I want to put a call to action and I wanted to say anything, but yeah, you know what? I might as well. If you guys are interested and you want to know more, you want to hear from Kendra and I, like I said, we take a couple people per month on our Comeback Couples coaching. It's a great time, 12-week program. If you're interested, you can get at me. If not, there's no link. You know where we're at. Find me on Facebook or Instagram. Other than that, we'll see you on the next episode.